What's going on, guys? Kivox here in Meekachii. We are doing our wrap-up for November and our TBR for December.
Yep. We didn't read a lot.
Well, no, we read a lot.
Yeah.
It just was like one book. Where is it?
This is our main book that we read.
It's a big book. It's a doozy.
It's 1,000 pages.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You read another book, though, but let's start off with that. We did our live stream for this because we're doing all the Cosmere books in our order that we chose. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't absolutely love this book. I've told you this before. For some, this is one of the first. Yeah, I would say this is on par with the second era.
You like this less than Warbreaker?
What did I give Warbreaker?
I don't know.
So we made these at the beginning of the year, and we've been filling them in with all the books that we read. This is Meekachii's board. Mine's behind it. But let's see what I gave Warbreaker. Just gotta find it now. Warbreaker, 4. I would say this is a 4 for me, maybe 4.5. I'll decide when I go to stick it on. It's a little on the fence right now. I'm gonna listen to your reasoning for why you gave it a.
It's a star for me.
All right, so explain to me, convince me, convince me why.
I don't know if I can convince you. I just think the way it made me feel as I was reading it, there was so much mystery and intrigue. Yet I felt like they gave you enough information for you to go back and really delve in and figure things out. But at the same time, it wasn't boring information, and it wasn't a boring plot. To me, what really killed it for me with Warbreaker is I didn't care about the magic system. I didn't really think it was cool. I feel like it wasn't explained enough. I feel like there was just enough explanation in this for me to be intrigued, and I thought the magic system was cool. And I don't know, I really enjoyed all the characters. I just loved the plot. I liked everything about it.
Okay, so for me, I would say that the magic system, I almost feel so we started reading the second book, so that's why we finished that halfway through the month, and then the rest of the month was reading the part 2, which is
Words of Radiance.
Words of Radiance. That's the next one, I take it. Okay.
Oathbringer's the third one.
So I feel Words of Radiance is the first book, and this is the prequel book that sets everything up for that book, because I'm loving that one. This one here, I liked it, but I like it better now that I started reading the second one, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like the second era Mistborn. I like it more. I like the first ones more now because I read the last one, or the third one. So it made me appreciate the other ones better, but I still feel like the other two were kind of setups for the last one. The last one was wow, this is really good. And then it's the same way. I feel like
this was a setup.
That was a setup, and it's I went in not knowing anything, and it was just at the end I still didn't know anything. Things happened.
I knew it, but I also
this second book they're explaining a lot more, and now that's why I'm enjoying it more, because that one it was just hey, here's a question. Chapter 2, more questions. Hey, there's a new character now. More questions, and it was the whole book. I had no answers for anything except for things that I didn't really care about. But now that I started the second one. Again, it's a 7-part book or series, right?
It's going to be 10, I believe.
Oh my gosh. And I'm sure that they're all going to be that long. So it's a big epic story. So for me, if you just read the first one, I don't think you'll enjoy it. I think you really need to read the next one, in my opinion. If you're anything like me, where I really like knowing all the little details and stuff.
I think because I physically read it and I didn't just listen to it, I was in a bit of an advantage because I was able to easily and quickly go back to previous chapters and look up little things that I thought were connected, and that really helped me a lot because there were so many things that you asked me who is this again, or what is going on again, and I would explain to you the sequence of events, and then you'd be oh yeah, okay.
Your whole thing with some other books that we've read was there was too many characters, too many separate plot lines that didn't combine, which this one it did not.
I think
they were connected in the background, but they did not. At the end of this book, they did not solve all the problems. There's problems that started being solved in the second one.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like,
But again, there was no connection.
To me, there
it's
was.
like this
I
person was
disagree.
related to that person, and that's how they were connected. But they never talked to each other.
That's
the whole,
okay. They're still connected.
All I'm saying is that other books that you have complained about, you complained, and at the end, they actually all met up, and it was one cohesive story. But you hated those books.
To me, this had a connection. I didn't have that problem.
But it
with
didn't,
this.
though.
But
like,
I think it did.
It didn't. Like the whole Yesna and the rest of the book. Yesna's part of the story, and everybody else wasn't connected.
But she's the king's sister.
Again, she's just related to somebody, but the storyline did not connect in this book.
We can go on and
Am
on.
I wrong?
Arguing.
Okay, so you're telling me that somebody's related, so therefore it's connected.
But I think they were connected.
How?
I can't really go into detail
because you don't know.
ruining it.
No, how about that? You just okay. Cut. So nothing was solved after about 20 minutes of talking about this. But my point is that it's I almost feel like this story was not complete. It was an introduction. So like if you read this, plan to read the rest of the books and plan to wait probably a couple of years for the rest to come out because we're still on 4.
No.
I thought 4 was coming out soon.
He's writing.
Oh, he's like 70 or 80% through.
He's almost done.
Yeah.
But...
So just by the time that you get to that, though, you get to the 4th one, he'll probably have it ready. But anyway, there's probably still 6 more, as far as we know. So just expect to be waiting and to not know what the hell is happening.
Just expect that at the end of this book, you're not going to know all the answers.
It's
You're
not.
still going to have a million questions. But to me, it didn't matter. I still thoroughly enjoyed like learning what was happening to the characters and like.
But you didn't really know that much. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
He writes it in a way that makes you think you do.
Go ahead, rate it. I can't believe you think that that book was as good as Mistborn 3 and Elantris. I don't even like Elantris that much, but I can't believe.
I love Elantris.
It's on par with that.
I think so.
Like I would at best give it a 5. Did you use mine?
Yeah.
I peeled that earlier, and you. So anyway, we make these little. Oh, I don't want to show you that one yet. We make these little stickers and we stick them on here. I think you guys got the gist of that already. I can't believe you gave it a 5. I mean a star.
Stop. We can have different opinions on books.
I don't know about that.
We can. It's allowed. Are you gonna show what you're reading it?
Yeah, I will. As soon as I finish sticking it on here. I gave it a 4.5. Right there.
So you liked it better than Warbreaker.
I did, because I started reading the next one. I feel like if I hadn't started reading the next one, it would have been like a 3. Because it left nothing answered. And I hate when a story introduces something and it like doesn't like introduce 100 things, right, in one story. Give me at least like 50% answers. Like 50%, please.
But
like
how do you do that
keep
in
me
a
guessing.
10-book epic saga?
Well, he hasn't written them yet. So that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Oh my god. Okay. We're done. This is going to be like 10 minutes of one book. Next, I read my wrapped book. If you don't know, we'll go over this in a minute, but he wrapped 12 books for me. This was November's book, The Search for Wanla by Tony Ditterlizzi. I don't know how to say that. It was a cute middle grade novel. It was actually really well written. I was surprised. And the story itself was really good. And if it had been about half of the length, I would have probably rated it higher than I did. But around the middle, I felt it got way too redundant, which sucks because the ending left me intrigued enough where I would like to know what happens in the story and where it goes from here. But this was just a little too long for my taste, and I just don't care enough to go into the next one. But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the beginning and the end, and the middle was okay.
It has a bunch of nice art inside as well.
Apparently the author drew all of these.
I know, you told me.
Craziness. But yeah. Like, there's a lot of art in it. And apparently there's, like, an interactive website where, like, it says, even Nine's world as they unfold in spectacular 3D reality on your computer. Apparently it uses, like, your camera or something and, like, has like a 3D map of the world or
Weird.
whatever. Yeah, I didn't do it. I got lazy. But that's that. I ended up giving it, oh shoot,
A 3.
a 3.
All right.
And that's all we read.
And
It's a lot of pages.
how many books have you read so far?
I just reached my 60 for the year, which was my goal, was 60. So I did it.
I'm at 26.
Do you remember what your goal
Probably
was?
30.
I thought it was around 20.
It was
We'll
probably
have to watch that old
it
video.
was probably 30. So I need to read. Well, I'm going to finish that one. So that'll be, what did I say, 26?
I think
That'll be
so.
27.
Are you counting your DNF?
No.
Yeah.
Cuz I didn't
You know
finish
what
it.
then? I probably didn't do 60. Because I do rate my DNFs on Goodreads, and that's where I keep my log.
Mhm.
So I think I DNF 2 books.
Okay.
So technically by the end of the year, I'll have reached my reading goal for real.
So, we have these wrapped books. There were 12. My mother started wrapping these before I was born, and I ended up taking over for her afterward. And there were 12. Now, there's only one. Luckily, it's a pretty small one. Do you wanna like close your eyes to pick? The gist of it is all of these books were books that she hadn't read yet, and I picked them out, wrapped them, and you did it. You've read all of them so far.
Every single one of them.
You have 31 days now to finish this one, and you would have read 12 books that you would have probably never read
True.
because you just bought them, and you know how things happen,
We'll do
guys.
this again next year.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
You want to open it for me?
Sure, I will.
Don't rip the book.
Don't look.
Do you remember it now?
Oh, yeah, this is gonna be a good one. I'm excited.
Do you want to
It
read
it has a plastic cover.
Oh, nice.
It's super creepy and weird, and the cover has this going on. See? Weird. There you go. I don't know what it's
seems
about.
Like a cool book.
Is it like a storybook? Or is it like a...
Yeah, no it is. It says...
What is it called? I didn't even see.
Diary of a Haunting.
Diary. Daria of a Haunting.
When Paige moves from LA to Idaho with her mom and little brother after her parents' high-profile divorce, she expects to completely hate her new life, and the small town doesn't disappoint. Worst yet, the drafty old mansion they rented is infested with flies, spiders, and other pests Paige doesn't want to think about. She chalks it up to her rural surroundings, but it's hard to ignore the strange things happening around the house, from one can of ravioli becoming a dozen to unreadable words appearing on the wall.
Wait. That's like the best haunting ever. Imagine you bought like one can of ravioli and it was like, hey, more ravioli. And I'd be like, oh, let's eat some raviolis. As long as you leave one in there, it becomes 12.
Soon, Paige's
Awesome.
little brother begins roaming the house at all hours of the night, and there's something not right about the downstairs neighbor who knows a lot more than he's letting on. Things only get creepier when she learns about the sinister cult that conducted experimental rituals in the house almost 100 years earlier. Blah, blah, blah. She investigates. I think it's told, kind of like in time stamps. So it's going to be interesting.
The cover is just awesome.
Yeah,
it's a great
is
idea.
cool.
It's super creepy.
Hopefully it's good. Is this back the same?
Yeah.
Nothing.
No. It would have been cool if this person.
Oh, it didn't exist.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's one book I have to read. Then we are going to be finishing Words of Radiance, which is the second book in the Stormlight Archives.
This one's really good, guys.
This one we have a book club for on December 22nd. So it's a Sunday. If you want to join, anyone's welcome. If you've read this book or if you think you can finish it by December 22nd, hop on and talk about it with us.
When is it?
December 22nd. Then we will probably start reading Oathbringer this month since we have to be finished with this one by the 22nd.
Who's that supposed to be? Don't say anything.
guessing-
Don't say any names. Don't say any names. You don't want to spoil it.
For you?
No, for other people. I'm further
I'll
than
say
you.
it for you. Just
No. Oh,
okay.
okay. John.
1,242. So, if you want to jump ahead and kind of start reading these with us, this book club is on February 2nd. So, I'm giving about 6 weeks in between all of these because there's so many pages. So, yeah, if you want
So
to
we're not going to have a book club
in January.
in January.
We can't. Are you kidding? I can't finish more than this.
That's true.
So, that's that. And then being super ambitious, like I love to be, even though I can hardly ever, actually read what I want to read. I really love Book Roast's Harry Potter readathons that she does, and I this year I've been trying to do all of them. She has a winter one up on her website, the magicalreadathon.com, and you choose chapter 1. She's going to unlock new chapters every week, and there's going to be 5. And then each week you have X amount of reading prompts to follow and whatever. It's like it's 1 to 3 per week that you could get based on answers that you give. Thank God I only got 1 for week 1, and it was read a contemporary novel. Now, I'm not in the mood for a regular contemporary book, but all contemporary really means is like of this time and place. So as long as a book is set in real world and it's kind of present time, then
But what if it's like
contemporary?
Sci-fi a little bit?
No, it has to have no magical or sci-fi elements for it to be contemporary.
Supernatural?
I don't think so. I don't know. That one is iffy because real life people believe in that stuff.
Real life people believe in magic as well.
Anyway, so I chose The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I got this book of the month not too long ago, but I've heard really good things about this book, and I keep hearing good things about it, and I want to read it. So this is going to be my contemporary for the first week. And I can't tell you what the rest of the readathon is going to hold for me because they don't unlock until later on. So
I want to read another book.
So I don't know what you could read for a contemporary.
No, I don't want to read. I don't want to do that. I don't like contemporary. I cannot read contemporary.
You know what? You could do your own quizzes though and see what books you get. All right.
This
book is that one you said sounded good.
Is Peace and Turmoil on audiobook yet?
No, I don't think so.
Darn.
Do
you really think I would like Kingdom of Copper or the other one, the brass one?
I do.
Me though, like knowing me? Let's be honest.
It's hard because you surprise me sometimes and you like things I don't expect you to like. Like, I didn't think you'd like Strange the Dreamer and you did.
That was a good book. I didn't love it. It wasn't my favorite.
I mean, you can start City of Brass, and if you don't like it, then DNF it. But I really enjoy it. It's a really well-written book.
And it's not that long.
It's like 500 pages. It just looks smaller.
Pretty sure this is not 500 pages. So
you could read this with me.
You just went over. You just like everything you said about it. I was like, no, thank you. Listening.
When Rowan Kane stumbles across the ad, she's looking for something else completely, but it seems like too good an opportunity to miss. A live-in nanny post with a staggeringly generous salary, and when she arrives at
this is the creepy one, house. The kid framed for murder, blah, blah, blah,
this
blah,
is like
blah.
her
I remember that.
Writing to her lawyer from prison, struggling to explain the unraveling events.
It seems kind of supernatural a little bit.
Right? I don't think it will be, unfortunately, because, thrillers never truly are. Yeah.
Oh, wait, is there any other My Plain Jane ones?
No, not yet.
Dang.
Calamity Jane is coming
next? Okay. I want to read that when that comes out.
I have to read My Plain Jane.
You sure do. That's the second one?
Yeah.
I really liked it. Maybe I'll try to finish one of the books that I started. Because I started Illuminae. I've started fifth season. I think those are the only two that I've started that I plan on finishing.
Red Sister, but I don't know if
and Red Sister. That. And Red Sister. No, it wasn't too bad. So I have those 3 books, so maybe I'll finish one of those. I think that's the best result, the best option that I have for trying to finish something else this month.
Especially, we have to finish that other one in 22 days.
If I finish all 3, then I think I'll reach my 30 book goal. And I don't know if
your goal is.
Well, I'm retconning it to 30. So as of right now, it's 30. All right?
The end.
So guys, thank you guys for watching. Let us know what your TBR. See if you're reading any of these books.
Or if you have read them.
If you have read them. If you're reading the thing with us. Is it this one? The other one. The other one. This one. If you're reading this one with us, don't forget to join us for the
live stream.
For the
or
live
if you've
stream.
already read it.
Or yeah, that's always nice.
The only
If you've
bad thing
just
about
be careful about spoiling future
books.
books for us.
The only bad thing about having people that already read the whole thing.
But I feel like book readers, like the book reading community, is pretty good. Yeah, because they
no
know.
one spoiled anything.
Sometimes
the last
people
one.
are like, they don't realize they're doing it. Like, you know how you thought that thing happened in the next one, but it actually happened in the first one. So
it's hard because this story pretty much picks up right where the last one leaves off. So it's like it's very difficult to tell.
And that's why I said it's like the prequel. It's like it should have just been one book. He should have just done this. Just like printed. I know that these aren't the two, but
2,200 pages.
If he had just done this, everything would have been. I would have been okay with it. I would have been like, oh, that makes sense. Do they make books like this? Why not? Why don't they make books like this?
It's impossible.
You just like couldn't even read it, right? You'd be like, okay, I can't even open these pages.
Even without wrecking it.
Imagine carrying this around.
No, even I had the library one of these, so that I could like read it at work on my downtime, and like even that was burdensome to carry around.
Burdensome. It's like a last name, Burdensome.
You hear all the ice hitting the window?
I do.
Cannot be good for driving tomorrow.
No. Snowstorm.
Yay.
See you guys in the next video. Meek, say bye.
Bye, Meek.
Bye.